Hi everyone, I'm Santa from 4A class. As you can see on the screen, our topic today is type of sentence. This is a relevant introduction for you to learn advanced English grammar, particularly in developing your insight into the structure of the English language. I have divided this presentation into three main sections. First of all, I'll give you an overview of sentence definition. Next, I'll focus on sentence characteristic. Finally, I'll provide an overview and examples of sentence type based on their function and structure. Okay, let me first give you a brief overview of sentence definition. A sentence is a group of words usually containing a verb that express a thought in the form of a statement, question, instruction, or exclamation, and starts with a capital letter when written. Now, let's take a look at the sentence characteristics. A complete English sentence must have three characteristics. First, in written form, a sentence begins with a capital letter and ends with a period or a note of interrogation or a note of exclamation. Second, a sentence must express a complete thought, not fragmented. Third, a sentence must contain at least one subject and one verb comprising an independent clause. Let's now move on to type of sentences based on their function and structure. Functionally, sentence divided into 5 types: assertive or declarative sentence, imperative sentence, interrogative sentence, exclamatory sentence, and optative sentence. While structurally, sentences are divided into 4 types: simple sentence, compound sentence, complex sentence, and compound complex sentence. Okay, now let's discuss types of sentences based on their function. Assertive or declarative sentence. An assertive sentence or declarative sentence simply expresses an opinion, declares or asserts a statement, feeling, incident, event, history, or describes anything. These types of sentence can be either affirmative or negative that ends with a period or full stop. For examples, I want to be a good singer. I'm very happy today. Alex is a good baseball player. When he was young, his father died. Imperative sentence. An imperative sentence is used to convey a command or a request or a forbidden type. This type of sentence always takes second person you for the subject, but most of the time the subject remains hidden. Imperative sentence usually end with a full stop, but under certain circumstances, it can end with an exclamation mark. For examples, please sit down. I need you to sit down now. Bring me a glass of water. Don't ever touch my phone. Interrogative sentence. An interrogative sentence is a sentence that asks a question. This kind of sentence usually ends with a note of interrogation or a question mark and can be either affirmative or negative. For examples, when are you going to submit your assignment? Don't you know who she is? Can I borrow your grammar book for a day? Why did he leave us? Exclamatory sentence. An exclamatory sentence is a sentence that expresses a sudden and intense excitement, happiness, disgust, admiration, wonder, anger, shock, sorrow, etc. This kind of sentence must have a note of exclamation at the end or in the middle of the sentence. For examples, I cannot believe he would do that. Hey, don't touch my phone. How fluently the lady talks in French. What a pity. You can join us. Optative sentence. An optative sentence is a sentence that expresses a prayer, keen wish, curse, etc. This kind of sentence generally starts with may or wish. Sometimes may remains hidden. For examples, wish you a happy journey together. May your team win the match. May the Almighty help in this tragedy. Wish you a very successful career. Okay, now let's discuss types of sentences based on their function. Simple sentence. A simple sentence must have a single clause or a single verb that is independent, and it cannot take another clause. For example, I always wanted to become a writer. Compound sentence. A compound sentence must have more than one independent clause with no dependent clauses. Some specific conjunction, punctuation, or both are used to join together these clauses. For example, I always wanted to become a writer, and she wanted to become a doctor. Here we can see two independent clauses that connected by a conjunction and. Complex sentence. A complex sentence also has more than one clause, but one of them must be an independent clause, and the other must be a dependent clause. There are also some particular connectors for the clauses of the complex sentence to be connected. For example, I know that you always wanted to be a writer. Here, a dependent clause is followed by a connector and an independent clause. The other way around is also possible. Compound complex sentence. A compound complex sentence is a mixture of the features of the compound and the complex sentences in one sentence. So it must contain at least two independent clauses and at least one dependent clause. For example, I know that you always wanted to become a writer, but I always wanted to become a doctor. Here, one dependent clause is followed by a complex connector, that, and two independent clauses with compound conjunction but. Well, this brings me to the end of my presentation. I'd like to end with a summary of the main points. A sentence is a group of words usually containing a verb that expresses a thought in the form of a statement, question, instruction, or exclamation, and starts with a capital letter when written. A complete English sentence must have three characteristics. First, in written form, a sentence begins with a capital letter and ends with a period or a note of interrogation or a note of exclamation. Second, a sentence must express a complete thought, not fragmented. Third, a sentence must contain at least one subject and one verb, comprising an independent clause. Type of a sentence based on function including assertive or declarative sentence, imperative sentence, interrogative sentence, exclamatory sentence, and optative sentence. Types of a sentence based on the structure including simple sentence, compound sentence, complex sentence, and compound complex sentence. Finally, thank you so much for taking time out to listen to my presentation, and I'll be very interested to hear your comments below. Cheers.